You're watching your baby lay on a cooling blanket, tubes, wires, monitors, and now they're making your baby cold on purpose. It doesn't make any sense at first, but this treatment is called hypothermia cooling. It's something that the doctors will use when there has been a possible brain injury at birth. You may have heard them say something about oxygen loss or a lack of blood flow, or you may have even heard the doctors use the term HIE, hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. Cooling is one of the first steps that doctors will take when they suspect a brain injury. The goal with the cooling is to be able to slow everything down. When a baby's brain doesn't get enough oxygen during labor or delivery, the damage isn't always going to be instant. There can be a delayed response, a second wave of injury that can happen in the hours that follow everything. And what the cooling does is it looks to try to slow that process down. It gives the brain time to be able to settle and possibly reduce how much more damage might happen into the future. And that's why it's done so quickly. There's a small window of time where the cooling can be implemented to try to help. But this is where I want to pause and I want to talk with you. I want to be real with you about this. As someone who helps families understand how these injuries may have happened, the cooling, hypothermia cooling, it is not a cure. And I know that some parents are told we did everything that we could because cooling was started with everything. But many still end up hearing later that their baby has movement challenges or may be diagnosed with CP or cerebral palsy down the road. And with all of that said, that part is rarely explained in the beginning to families. The truth is that cooling does not erase the injury. It does not fix what may have already gone wrong before delivery. And that's where the questions for families, that's where these questions can begin to build. Why did this happen? Was there something that was missed during labor? Was there a delay in getting help to my baby sooner? As a birth injury lawyer, I speak with mothers all across the country who remember those early days in the NICU. They can remember all of it. They remember being hopeful that the cooling would fix everything for their baby. And then weeks or months later, they're sitting in front of specialists and they're hearing things that they just did not expect to hear. All of this is just a lot to process. And if you're starting to ask whether there could have been more done for your baby when they were born, you're not wrong to want answers for all of this. Cooling is one tool, but it does not explain everything in this process. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and if you have any other questions about your baby's HIE brain injury at birth or subsequent CP diagnosis from a medical legal standpoint, don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. You can find out more information about me in my profile. My contact information is there. If you are watching this video on certain types of apps, you can send me a DM and we could chat a little bit more about your baby story, or you can just wait and watch the picture that follows the end of this video. All right, that's going to be it for this afternoon's quick educational video. Have a great day, everybody.